People. I'm so sorry. I'm not even gonna lie. I've set the stream to tomorrow when it was supposed to be today. So yeah, people, allow me. I appreciate you lot jumping in. Obviously, it is the late night calling show. So this is a show where people can just come in and say what they want to say, talk football. We're gonna chop it up. Obviously, Gvardiol, I think that's how you say his name, has obviously agreed personal terms in Manchester City, and we're gonna use that to talk about Liverpool's business or Liverpool's lack of business after the signing of McAllister. So first thing I need you lot to do is smash the like button, send in whatever questions you want to send in after the first 5 minutes. I know, you lot, allow me. I'm seeing in the comments. I never make that mistake, but you know, StreamYard was being stupid in it. So of course, people smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. Obviously, I've got a few guests that are gonna jump in, but also I want to hear what the people have to say. How long has it been since I've done a call-in show? You don't probably know. Last time I've done a call-in show, probably when the season was ending. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I need to just pattern up with that one. So again, people, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. Congratulations to my good friends over on Never a Foul who have hit 10,000 subs. That is crazy. Like, you know, 10,000, you could fit that in a football stadium. I'm not gonna lie. Slap 10,000 people in a room. That is mad. So again, Mo, Ty, Dax, Kaz, you man, you're changing the YouTube world, innit? So again, salute to you, man. Big up their crowd who's obviously coming here and to show support and all that good stuff as well. Obviously, I am going to put the link out, you know, to the stream. I'm going to put it all out and you guys are going to be able to join and all that stuff. But just bear with me now. I'm going to get through some of the comments and see what the people are saying, man. Make sure you guys smash a like as well, man. CB, my bad. I know it says 23 hours. It was supposed to be 23 minutes, but it is what it is. Big up Stim Ake as well. Big up Ravi. Big up KLFC. Yeah, I know it's 23 hours changed to now. People, just allow me. Big up Bailey as well. Big up Roms in the house as well. Big up Bailey again. Big up Football Gossiper. Big up Gaetano in the house as well, man. There's so many familiar names. It's good stuff in it. Like, again, Man City agree in personal terms with such a good centre back, a centre back that we wanted. We're going to be talking more in it tomorrow with the guys as well. If you're a Man City fan, you're pretty much
life like this sure is sweet, huh?
It definitely is.
It's mad. Do you know what I'm saying? Big up Stephen Dragon as always says, like, comment, subscribe, please, people, and all that good stuff. Big up Kings Mano as well, 17, of course. So you know what, people? I'm gonna dive in straight away, and I'm gonna send you guys the link. Usually I'll do a like goal to drop the link so you man can join the thing. But at this moment in time, I'm feeling mad generous. So you lot, the second you don't want to jump in and have your say, the link to join is, bear with me, people, I'm actually slow, is here. I just finished watching Transformers in it, so my head's been a bit everywhere with you know what I'm saying. I won't send no spoilers. If anyone actually likes Transformers, you get it. Like, I won't say no spoilers and that. You know what I'm saying? And I also watched The Flash as well. Link to join is here. Make sure camera is on unless I know you. All right, there you go, people. There you go. Link is out there. It is pinned as well. Feel free to jump in when you guys want to jump in. Obviously, the first thing to talk about, I'm not gonna lie, Gvardiol. How do you pronounce his name? Someone in the chat tell me how you pronounce his name. I've always said Gvardiol. Gvardiol. I'm gonna say Gvardiol in it. But the fact that he's been, or Josko, the fact that Josko's been, he's agreed terms with City, for me, again, it's big club mentality. Say what you want about Man City, they're not slowing down. These men are not slowing down. Yeah, they could be losing Laporte. Doesn't matter. They're getting Josko in. It doesn't matter. Like, these guys don't look like they're slowing down, and it looks like to me that Pep is building a team for when he leaves. He's got 2 years left on his contract. I think he stays even longer. I'm not gonna lie. I believe he stays even longer, and I have to just commend it. Now I can't hate Gvardiol. Yeah, just say Gvardiol. Yeah, I'm gonna say Gvardiol. It's just mad. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I feel like at this moment as a Liverpool fan, it's very hard to watch, and it's very hard to just accept and look at my rivals getting work done. And obviously, some people are gonna look at me and go, Mons, you know what? How dare you look at Liverpool like this? You know, we've signed McAllister already. We're only 10 days into the window. But in my opinion, I want most of this business done already. And we need to show that ambition to get back into the Champions League. We need to show that we are pull without being in the Champions League. And I'm not saying go and sign marquee signings, because Liverpool have never been the people to go and sign marquees. We've never been the team to get marquee signings over and over again. Never that. It has never happened. But what we need to understand is that Liverpool find players for their system and make it work. And at this moment in time, just because it is quiet, but seeing other teams do what they need to do is crazy to me. We're looking at Bernardo Silva, who could be leaving. Bernardo Silva could leave. Do you know what I'm saying? He could end up leaving. And at the end of that, you know, who do they have to replace him? Well, okay, of course, they've got Mahrez. Do you know what I'm saying? Mahrez looks like he's leaving as well. Gundogan looks like he's leaving. But for me, I see Foden coming on that right wing, slotting straight in. Grealish is on his second season and he's not slowing down. Do you know what I'm saying? They were able to get rid of Jesus and bring in Alvarez as a backup who's looking just as good as Jesus at times. They've got Haaland, who no one needs to speak about that. They could even be going in for Rice. Is it mad to say Liverpool lack ambition at the moment? I don't think it is. I really don't think it is, and it's worrying. It really is worrying to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me hit some of the comments. Omar says Pepe's here in Egypt, thinking of kidnapping him so City drop off and someone else wins the league. Bro, it's mad. Yeah, no, Daps. I know Daps is gonna jump in a little bit. Big up Albert as well. Albert, good to see you, bro. It's been a long time. How are you?
I'm good.
It's a long time since you've had a rant. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what is there to rant about, man? There's just you keep ranting about Liverpool and nothing changes, man. It just comes in a different form. It doesn't change.
Yeah, it's
every window we quickly buy the first player and then we all think that things are gonna happen and then nothing happens. It's like a recurring number. It's like 0.333. Doesn't change.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, what are you, before we talk about more Liverpool stuff, Gvardiol obviously looking like he's on his way to Man City, a defender who we were strongly linked with towards the end of the season. How are you feeling about that?
Okay, so this is my position on Gvardiol. I used to rate him very highly until he was cooked by Messi. I still gave him the benefit of the doubt, but I was very disappointed in his showing against Man City. I think he was awful against Haaland. So I wouldn't pay, put it this way, I wouldn't pay €100 million for him. So I would rather have gone Ignacio. I think bang for buck, maybe he's a better acquisition. Or the other one, what's his name? Andre Gomez, is that his name?
Van de Ven.
No.
We were looking back, but that's who the other centre back we've been linked to. You're now Tottenham.
I know. No, I saw him today. He's just not good enough. No, I don't think he's good enough.
Is it because he's quick? Everyone seems to have this sort of rate, like he's got that rate in there. Because he is very quick for a centre back. But then
can't jump. He can't jump, man. He can't jump. Anytime the Portuguese put a ball in the box, he wasn't going up. And if he did go up for a 6'4" guy, you should be commanding that box. I'm not, I may be wrong. And so there are several players who have a natural tendency to do something. And then when they come into a league, it's corrected. So maybe they'll take him for some high jump lessons. Who knows? But just basically on the face of what I'm seeing. And then there's also an argument that you shouldn't necessarily be judging players when you watch them in tournaments. I disagree, but based on the cursory glance that I see, that's it. Hey, by the way, yesterday was my birthday. You haven't wished me birthday.
Oh, was your birthday yesterday, Albert? Listen, hey, everyone in the chat, stop what you're doing and wish Albert a happy birthday, man.
My birthday is the same day as Darwin Núñez.
Oh,
I've changed my mind on Núñez. I know that's why I liked him. He's my boy.
He's your boy now.
Even if he keeps shitting around, that's fine. He's my boy, man.
Big up, man. Now, of
And
course.
I actually also didn't know that today is Carl's birthday. So
Look at this, man, Albert, man. Everyone, let's see, man. Look. Uncle Albert show. Do you see the love for Uncle Albert, man? See, man. Come on,
yeah,
man. That's the love. That's the love,
and
man.
today is the great Lionel Messi's birthday. So yep.
No, I hear it. It's actually my auntie's birthday today. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Montel's auntie. I won't say her name on here for obviously reasons, but yeah, if anyone say happy birthday to my auntie, it's my auntie's birthday. So
Whoa. Happy birthday, man. So yeah, back to the topic. So some say it's not fair to judge players in tournaments, but what else do I have to judge him on? I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced by him. No, I'll just put it that way. And they want to sell him for how much? Is it 30 or 40 million euro? I don't know. But so I'm asking this. Why aren't we looking at someone like Maguire if we really want a left central back? Because I think he's a very, very good player. I like him, but it's I don't think we'll get Levi Colwill, but yeah,
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
that guy doesn't jump. You cannot be a center back in the Premier League if you don't jump. Can't it don't work.
It's true, but then again, is that something? But jumping in spring, that's something you can learn in training, I believe.
That's what I'm saying. That maybe they get somebody to teach him to. Like I said, you can bring in a player and tell him, we need you to adapt to the style that we play. We need you to do this. We need you to do that. And you may well have but just like I said, just a cursory glance at what I saw. And that's my verdict on him. For me, so far, for anybody watching the European Under-20 tournament, I think my player so far is Kone. He's shown me things that I think will make him succeed in the EPL. He's highly press resistant. It's very difficult to take the ball off him. He's a brilliant tackler. His sense of positioning, especially on the defensive side of the ball, is excellent. If he doesn't get injured, he'll be a good acquisition if we want to get him. I think he also complements Thuram very well. So because Thuram likes to foray ahead, make quick forays ahead, and if we can match them, I'm talking about the future, because with Klopp you never know what he wants to do. He might well end up putting Thuram in as the goalkeeper or as his left fullback. Who knows? So that's just what I see, because he played a perfect double pivot with him, so they allowed Kashure to go a little bit and augment the attack. I think they complement each other very well. But as a defensive midfielder, Kone is excellent. So
yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. J7.
Yeah.
Been a minute. Obviously, good to have you back on the channel. How you doing, bro? How you saying?
I've been fine. Do you get that feeling when you go on Twitter, you just want to go see Liverpool transfers?
And you're not seeing nothing. You saying you're
hoping nothing's going on.
Yeah.
Well, the preseason begins on July 9th, so we'll see. Hopefully, it's a few days. So, 12 or 2 weeks? We'll see what happens.
You know how bad it is. Basically, the FSG PR team is trying to spin this Thuram thing, saying that we're not putting a bid for him, he might get injured. But Newcastle are out here splashing 70 million on Tonali from AC Milan, and he is an under-21 international from Italy. So yeah, I don't know.
They also said we didn't want to put in a bid until after the under-21s, and as you said, Tonali's under-21.
What's his face? Virgil is on holiday with his mates. In wherever he is, he might get injured. So what does that mean? He might trip and fall. What does that mean? It's difficult trying to hang with these FSG guys and their PR machine, and you have to give it to them. They have an excellent PR machine, really. So you just risk getting a coronary if you follow what they do, because you and I both know, as long as we've watched this game, that you can have a medical offsite. They can come to where you are and come and do the medical if they really want to. What may end up happening is if he has a barnstormer during the tournament, the price will go up and then we chicken out, because we have this thing, and some people think it's a badge of honor that Liverpool don't they don't haggle over players. They don't compete over. But what do you mean you don't haggle over players? What's wrong with you? I mean, if a player is good, then you haggle over him, right?
Don't you?
Yeah.
What?
Why are we trying to say this is the first time we've won it? How many players have we poached from Manchester United? See, they talk out of both sides of their mouth, right? Didn't we poach Jota from Spurs? Was it no, it wasn't Jota, it was the other
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
right?
yes.
Didn't we poach Gakpo right from under the noses of Manchester United? Didn't we do the same thing with Darwin? So why the double talk? When it suits us, oh, we don't haggle over players. When it doesn't suit us, let's just wait. It's 2 weeks. We'll know what Klopp, because Klopp told us in his own words that this is the time of the season where he's happy, when he's always on his phone. So if he's on his phone and he gets one player, that's good. I have to give it to them though. My opinion is that the best midfielder available in this window was Alexis McAllister, and they got him. So they should keep on keeping on.
When you deep it, last year summer sent us back badly,
It's not just last year, bro. It started 3 years
it's an
ago.
accumulation. It's an accumulation of lack of midfield. But we're
Yeah,
not
it
going to
started
talk.
3 years ago. Since we bought Thiago, we haven't bought a midfielder. That's not good.
But even before that, we went 3 windows before that. We didn't. So it's 8 windows, 1 midfielder.
Yeah,
now 9 windows. Now counting McAllister, now it's been 2 midfielders in 9 windows.
It keeps going on and on and on and on, and it doesn't get any better. I mean, look, with the modus operandi of our owners, nothing changes. You just get a little twist to the story, but it doesn't change. So the only thing that may affect them this season is the 60 million euro they are going to, the whole 60 million euro hole they are going to see in their what do you call it, in their bottom line, right? We didn't qualify for the Champions League, and I think when we were complaining that we were not doing well, they thought it was a joke until they realized that this shit was real. So now that they know it's real, they can buy the players. Or see, they have there's a science to this thing. You either go the Brighton way, or you go the Manchester United and the Man City way. Buy them at the crest of the wave, or buy them in the trough of the wave. Simple. So we've been linked with Alan Varela. He's a brilliant player. He plays for Boca Juniors. Watch him week in, week out. He's going to cost 10 million. Are you going to get him? Right now, the Home Office have relaxed the rules. So you can actually go and get 4 players, no questions asked. They've relaxed the point system, bring him in. Do that now. There's no need flying a 1,000 times to go to Argentina to watch him and not getting him. Then you might as well just watch him on Paramount Plus, because I fucking watch him on Paramount Plus, right?
But
telling us you send people to go and watch him, because everybody knows he's good. You want to wait for Sporting to get him, and then a year later they are selling him for 100 million. Then you tell us you bid, right? You are now bidding 55 million pounds for Valverde, when we all know nobody's going to sell him to you at that price. We all know that.
That's FFPR.
I said this is why I said when. Remember when the June news broke that we pulled out of the deal? Remember, we were all in the same this stream. we're talking about Jude.
Right.
And I said, great. I said, why? And people saying, oh, you know what? The fact that we're getting 3 midfielders instead of Jude is going to be a good thing. You know, the whole I don't want Jude anyway. Do you remember that notion from Sir?
I was right here.
I
was right in this position.
No, I'm not saying you man said that.
Right
but
here,
that was the notion, innit? Yeah. And when I say that was the notion, I said, cool, we're not getting Jude. But why are people believing that we're going to get 3 midfielders?
I was hearing 250 million for a rebuild this summer.
Yeah. Like this is what I'm saying. So why are people believing that there's going to be a 250 million overhaul? We're going to get 3 midfielders. If we didn't go and get the guy that we've been saving up for 2 years, it's again. So Jamrock answered the question, but we have bought at every other position. So tell me if it's intentional or if it's negligence. I think it's both. I think it's both. But more so negligence.
Listen, throw in the fact that we got McAllister for 35 million pounds. Listen, that figure that we bought the guy for was armed robbery. Okay, it was like insider information. Okay, that was like insider dealing at the SEC. That's what it was, because twice that amount. Look, how much did Enzo go for? 105, right? Enzo was 105 million, right?
A bit, yeah, it was significant. Okay. Yeah.
How much are West Ham selling Declan Rice for? How much are Brighton asking for Caicedo? So let me be modest here. Would it be out of place to have said that Alexis McAllister was going for 70 million pounds? Let me just pipe it down. 70 million. That's twice the price we got him for. So why aren't we applying those savings to quickly rake in some other players? Because, you know, I don't
There's no long-term planning at Liverpool. Just be real. There's no long-term planning.
There is. The long plan.
What's the long-term plan?
No, the long-term planning is in the other direction. It's not, you know, it's like a number line. There's the negative and the positive. It's that way.
Uncle, let me get to the super chat. We're going to introduce Rams and obviously introduce.
Yeah.
Lil Tim, thank you for the super chat. He goes, clubs are showing ambition, moving early, and we aren't. I'm going to say one thing. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Now, when we went and signed McAllister, Arsenal fans, Man United fans were saying the same thing. Liverpool are moving fast. We ain't doing no business. They were saying the same thing. Is this a case of us being slightly impatient because we're seeing the likes of Newcastle go and get midfielders that we probably should be able to get? So, for example, Tonali. So people basically are Tonali. So is it FOMO? Is it a sense of FOMO? And for those who don't, does anyone not know what FOMO means? By the way?
Mark, can we not talk about that name?
No, bro. I'm just saying. It's just. Let me just talk about FOMO for a second. Does anyone not know what FOMO means? It's like the fear of not being involved, basically.
Oh, yeah. Hi guys.
Big up Dats, by the way. Big up Dats. Welcome to the building. And congratulations.
Hey, Dats, how are you?
Oh, whoa. Yeah, I beg your pardon. Did you just call me Kaz?
No, Daps.
No. Dats. Oh, I thought you said Cass. I was going to say no. I'm not.
No. I said that. Sorry.
Yeah. Congratulations again on the 10K.
Yeah, big up on the 10K, man.
Well, thank you very much. But I keep saying this. Do you know what? The truth is, all we're doing is going on a stream and talking about football, and I'm usually getting waved while I do it. It's all the viewers that are watching, smashing the like button and all of that. That's harder work. So, yeah, man, good. I've had a shit day, but that made me happy. So,
yeah, no, exactly.
I bet the Gvardiol news.
Yeah, Gvardiol made me happy. Do you know what? And
made you a little bit more happier.
Yeah, we kind of know that one's happening anyway. The minute we
sign you guys should have your own league, man. You guys should have your own league. Play amongst.
Well, we kind of do, to be fair.
Get out of the Premier League.
It's called the Premier League, bro. Yourself. We own it. But the Gvardiol one, the minute we signed Kovacic, and there was rumours we were going in for Gvardiol, I was like, I know we're getting both of them now because, like, we've got this thing at our club. If you go and deep it, there's Portuguese, Brazilian. Even the Yorkshire lot, you have to, and I think Newcastle are doing that. They've got one Italian, but Dan Ashburn, is it Dan Ashburn? Is that his name? The guy in charge of all the recruitment.
Yeah, I think that's his name.
And he said he don't want to leave Italy till he grabs a second. Dan Ashworth, that's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he said he don't want to leave Italy till he grabs a second because you want to help people set in. So I know we were going to get him. The only one that it doesn't hurt me, I don't care about it, yeah, because whether we get if we don't get Declan Rice, it doesn't matter. Like if Arsenal don't get Declan Rice, it's an issue for them now because they're gonna, it looks like they're not going to get Caicedo as well. So I'm not bothered that we're not getting Declan Rice, but it would have been lovely to just be a thorn in their side one more time.
100% not getting him?
Nah, bro, I'll be honest with you, yeah. So basically, Arsenal have been flirting with him since February, yeah, and City have basically, because we were like, we don't know if Gundo and Bernardo are staying or going. When Gundo has said, I'm going, City have said, well, maybe we're going for Declan Rice. Apparently, City have gone to have talks with Arsenal, and Arsenal have made City aware Declan really wants Arsenal. Now, this reminds me of when you lot got Van Dijk. Before you lot got Van Dijk, yeah, City were being so linked with Van Dijk that the Christmas before you got him, all of his teammates bought him a City shirt, yeah? But the minute we heard he wants to play in the club, Pep just goes,
but
back.
United, but United were also in contact with Van Dijk as well.
But what I'm saying is, bro, what I'm saying is that the way Pep operates is, you've even heard it about our own players. That the minute a player wants to go, he's like, no problem. You're not going to get the best. And that's why we did not even bid on Van Dijk. Now, we haven't bidded on Declan Rice. We generally don't like getting in a bidding war anyway. So if we've been told he kind of wants to go Arsenal, what's the point in bidding and being in a long drawn-out process when ultimately the guy wants to be somewhere else? So there's no point. We'd be wasting our time. We'd be potentially looking stupid in the media to Arsenal fans. And ultimately, Declan Rice wouldn't be where he truly wants to be, where he's going to be his happiest. It won't work. So I think Pep would have just told the board, we move on. Other targets. Don't waste no time. So the media might say City's going for a bid. I don't think we will, bro. Look, we haven't put one in yet, right? We haven't put one in. The media are saying,
you know what?
The media are just saying we have, bro, but it's just a media, isn't it?
Whenever I think of Manchester United and Arsenal, at least I'm comforted because we may be up the pole, but they are higher up the pole than we are. Because I don't know what the hell Arsenal are waiting for to get Declan Rice.
Well, thank you. That's the only thing that I do agree with. If they've been talking to him since February, right?
Yeah. That's the same thing they did with Modric.
But it's the fee that they're trying to.
No, it's not that. Here's the thing: it's not that. This is a bit that confuses me. So with Kovacic and with Gvardiol, right? The agreement between the player and the club had been done. Gvardiol and City have already agreed personal terms. It's now City and Leipzig need to agree the fee. Same with Kovacic, that we'd agreed the thing. I keep saying all we hear is he wants Arsenal, but I'm like, if he wants Arsenal, why are personal? Because why am I not seeing one outlet say personal terms are agreed and it's now just between West Ham and so? I don't know. I do think he goes Arsenal, but it does seem weird that all we're hearing is he wants Arsenal, and there's no personal terms have agreed, no nothing. It's just he wants Arsenal, and then when
you guys remember high school, right? There's always this guy.
Monts is only 15. He's still there.
Well, maybe then he's at that stage. There's these guys who he likes a girl, and then he's always going to hold hands with the girl, and he's not quite able to tell her exactly what he wants. She's my friend. She ain't your friend. Just tell her what you fucking want.
No, he's been friend zoned already, bro.
Right?
100%.
So Arsenal did the same thing with Modric.
Yeah.
And Chelsea came and snatched him. I mean, they lowballed. Was it what's the name of his former team?
Shakhtar.
It got
within £5 million.
It got within £5 million. They won't pay.
No, that's not true, Uncle Albert. They put in stupid clauses that was not realistic. They tried to put in a Ballon d'Or clause for the guy, which was never ever going to be realistic.
But they are actually doing the same thing with this guy as well, right? They are doing the same thing with Rice. Okay,
they'll put
pay the money. In that, Pay the money. They've told you how much they want. Pay the money. And if you come, it's a negotiation. If you try to make them look stupid, they also act stupid, right? come within reasonable
Yeah.
distance, and they'll meet you. They need the money too.
Even more
By the
so,
way,
West Ham though.
let me hit the super chat quickly. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me hit the super chat quickly. Big up Don with the £2 super chat, by the way.
Type
Big
Don.
up Rams,
Big up
Mont,
Don, man.
Daps, smash the like, people. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you go and subscribe to Never a Foul. Make sure you go and subscribe to the Ram Stand, and obviously J7. Make sure you go subscribe to J7 TV. Guys, send me your link so I can also keep posting it in the chat, so you support the people around me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, also people, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe as well on the way to 5K. So you know, let's make that
the other
happen.
thing I was going to say as well is that, look, it's not a big deal. It really isn't a big deal, because ultimately what West Ham want most is money, 100%. Yeah, and even more so they need it, because the fact that they wanted Paulinho 90 million, that they're not going to go and get a replacement for Declan Rice, because anyone West Ham are interested in, they're going to be quoted big, because they know what they're getting. Everyone knows West Ham are getting about 100 million for Declan Rice, so everyone's going to go, well, in that case, we want some of that. But there is a tiny element that West Ham are, let's call them right now with the new stadium, they've just won a European trophy. They're an up-and-coming, they're a growing London team at the moment, right? And I think even to the point where something with their badge at the moment, they're wanting to have their badge replaced with something with like London on it or something. They want to be the team that is London. So there is a little element of it that West Ham, in an ideal world, would rather, and even for the fans, because the fans don't want it, they'd rather sell Declan Rice to someone else. Arsenal would be one of the last choices they truly want to sell to. But look, Arsenal in this point need to take a leaf out of the Liverpool book, probably 5 years ago, was it now, where you had to pay the money for Van Dijk and for Alisson, right? If you've got a jigsaw and there's missing pieces, right, it doesn't, and we did the same with Yaya and David Silva. When there's missing pieces, yeah, it might seem a lot of money, but if those missing pieces win you big trophies, all of a sudden it's worth every single damn penny. And Arsenal, just in this point, the other thing is that they have to put it out there, because right now, if Arsenal flop again, it's not good on their PR. They're being seen as a club that just lose at everything. So they just have to get it done.
I guarantee you, from this year that you guys have been playing in all comps, won the treble, you guys have probably gotten so much revenue that all the money you paid for Haaland, 300 million.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically the Haaland and Grealish and everything that's been paid back.
Oh, but and this is a thing, you have to look at plays like that. Like, remember Pogba, when Pogba joined Man United and everyone was saying 100 million is a lot of money. I swear Pogba made that money back in the first 3 months, right? Through all of the marketing. Say with Saka, people moan about how much Saka was getting paid, but you do realise how big of a star boy
he's
is
poster
Saka.
boy for England. Yeah.
So and same Declan Rice, So and if we're being completely real, that's not in all cases, but that's maybe a certain demographic would probably favour favour Saka. There's going to be a certain demographic that will favour Declan Rice, because he's the English version of Saka. He's a poster white boy.
On your point about West Ham and Arsenal and the whole London thing, it does hold a bit of water, because if you think about, say, the Midlands teams like the Wolves, your Forest, Leicester before they got relegated, there was probably less of a chance of them negotiating with other players compared to them negotiating with a Newcastle or with a Bournemouth or a Southampton.
It's just, you don't want to do it. Like, remember the uproar when we got Tevez off of Man United, because it's just, you do not want to sell to your rivals if your rivals are, and like West Ham, whether Arsenal like or not,
forget where they are.
They've just won a European trophy. So, that's
the other thing is that for Arsenal is that you've indicated clearly to Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka that you don't want them. You are going to play Champions League. How do you go and play Champions League without a good defensive midfielder? You actually need about 2 or 3.
Apparently, they're playing Kai Havertz in that Xhaka role.
Better not. They better not.
That's why I said from the beginning that when I see what Arsenal, and then because I'll get to Man U in a minute, when I see what Arsenal and Man U are doing, I feel comforted, even though we are basically acting the fool. I don't know what's wrong with Arsenal. You are going to play. Maybe they've forgotten what it's like to play Champions League.
Yeah, they probably have, though. Yeah.
if you're going to play Champions League, because if I were them, you keep Thomas Partey. Because
yeah, but you're a Liverpool fan. When Liverpool are in the Champions League, they play it to win it. Have Arsenal ever played the Champions League to win it? I don't think so.
No.
Do you
not since-
remember?
not since
Do you
2006.
remember? Not, do you remember what we did
Been to one
immediately
semi-final and one
after we
final.
lost the 2018 final? Remember what we did? We went and bought Fabinho.
There we go. Because
Fabinho
you-
signed the next, bro. He was holding the shirt
next
in, like,
day.
the next day.
Literally next day.
But this is the
Like,
thing.
oh, shit.
After Manchester United were flirting with him, up until from like March all the way up until then.
No,
Flirting with, like,
do you know?
Fabinho.
I've always said this though, and I'm blessed now that I'm saying it from a different angle at last. But I've said this to Tottenham fans and I've said this to Arsenal fans. And a prime example is I've said to Cass before that, you know, United haven't been in the Champions League for years, but if United got into the Champions League, could you win it in your first season back in it? And he goes, why couldn't we? And I'm like, right. And at the point when I asked him that, I go, that's mad, because to me as a City fan, we've got a manager that's won it before, we're dominating English football, but because we've never won one before, we don't believe. Whereas, you know, and this isn't slander on you lot, I've seen Liverpool win more Champions Leagues and probably been in more finals than I've seen Liverpool compete in the league. Yeah, that is Liverpool's belief in the Champions League.
Liverpool have always been a good cup team. Liverpool have always been
Arsene Wenger, Mourinho said the exact same thing you're saying.
Yeah, and this is the thing, but with Arsenal, and even this season, I said to Arsenal fans, when I watch you in the Europa League, it feels like watching City in our first couple of seasons in the Champions League that you just don't believe. And I said, if you play Arsenal, if Arsenal play Man United twice in the league, you'll probably beat them. If you play them once or twice in the Europa League, I think Man United will beat you, because in Europe, Man United just believe that little bit more than you do. And yeah, I just think next season, you're spot on. They need to improve their squad. If they really want to take the Champions League seriously, they need to improve their squad massively, because their mentality wasn't enough to win the league this season. The Champions League, mentality-wise, is a whole different ballgame.
The formula for Champions League is very simple. You need to have better than the first 11.
Yeah.
You see, I always say this about Man City, and it's something, the Man City of today, and it's something that I don't want to say I envy. Maybe
you can say it's fine. We're all grown men.
No. It's not envy. It's appreciation. When Manchester City line up against you, right? Phil Foden is on the bench. Calvin Phillips is on the bench.
Yeah.
Right? Even the likes of Rico Lewis and Cole Palmer are hell of a. Julian Alvarez is on the bench.
Do you know, I said this to Liverpool fans,
right?
After
Julian
you won the league.
fucking Alvarez is on the bench. Just a minute, Daz. When we were going to play you, some of our fan base were whooping and hollering when they heard Haaland wasn't going to play. And I remember telling them, be careful what you wish for. Because I don't like that kid, right? He's just, you see the way he always plays off of the shoulder of the, he doesn't post up. Like, I'm sorry to use the basketball reference. He doesn't post up. He always plays off the shoulder of the center back, so you don't see him coming. I remember saying it, that don't wish for that kid. It's better for VVD to face a fellow 6'4" guy. He sees him head on and he knows what to do with him. Not a guy who's in between his knees. And we paid for it.
But what I was going to say is the difference between City and Liverpool is where we've been blessed is, so before you won the league, obviously we won two, right? And Khaldoon, our chairman, spoke when we won the Centurions. And what he said is, we learned from our first two Premier Leagues, because the summers that followed us winning the Premier League, we went out and bought a couple of squad players just to improve the squad, your Jack Rodwells, your Sinclairs. And we've realised that if you win the league, everyone else is playing catch-up. So they're trying to buy the best players. If you go and buy squad players they might catch up with you. And this is a thing that City do. We stopped doing it. And he clocked on
14,
as
15.
As a chairman, he clocked on because both times, our first two Premier Leagues, we didn't retain. We dropped afterwards because the quality of the players we went and bought were not good enough. And he said openly in an interview when we won it the third time, we're not doing it again. This time, we only go for players at the same level or better than what we already have. And we're blessed to have owners that do that. The problem is that Liverpool's owners, the mad thing is that even
we don't do it
even
fully.
after you've done it, it's like,
when we won the Champions
League,
the best example, Daps, is
we bought
2021, where we obviously signed Thiago and Diogo Jota, but it wasn't enough. We still needed a centre back, even though we got rid of Lovren, which was the right decision. We should have got a centre back at the same time.
When we first started Never Foul, we were in the man cave, and you just bought Thiago, right? And I said exactly that, and everyone went mad at me, started going, "You don't rate Thiago." I said, "I haven't said I don't rate him. He's a player that I wanted Pep to bring to City. But what I'm saying is, you're very light with centre-backs. If you get an injury, there's no one to come in and cover." And then Van Dijk got injured. And I was like, that's what I was saying, that you thought that was great, but actually, at that point, you still had a lot of quality in midfield. You weren't the midfield you are now.
That boy to boy, do you know how good we were at that point? When VVD got injured, he got injured quite early on. I think VVD got injured.
Oh, you're unreal.
It was October and Matip.
October against Everton.
It was in the Everton game, of course, yeah. And it wasn't just VVD that got injured, because when VVD got injured, Matip stepped in. Gomez and Matip are playing.
And you still carried on winning for a period.
We carried on winning. Then Gomez got injured. Then it was Matip and Fabinho. We were still top of the league.
Yeah, I know.
Then what happened was Fabinho got injured. And then it was Gomez got injured, and then Henderson had to step in at centre back. So our back two was Henderson and Fabinho. And what place did we
played against?
We had that the year you won it with Fernandinho.
You had
and that's why we got so mad at Klopp, because it was the exact carbon copy of what you did.
And the stupidest thing is that both our managers.
I hate to say it, but that year you was there for the taking. That year, that year, not there for the, but we could have gone toe again that year, and given ourselves the head start that we actually need against Man City, because we do need a head start in January. We do need a head start, and of course, going in with Fabinho and Henderson at centre back, we were still bossing teams and were top of the league in January.
Yeah. The problem is, though,
that's something I will never forgive.
Do you know the thing that both our managers did? That, I mean, look, I feel stupid saying this. I'm going to talk on Klopp.
I have to call back Reece Williams.
But when the thing is, when you take, and I think you'll say on both of them, that when both of us took our DMs and put them in a centre back role, they did a good job. But that's not what that matters.
But they got injured.
The thing that matters is
centre back partnerships that season.
But the thing that matters is if you take two at the point, they were, for me, the two best centre back, the two best DMs in the Premier League, at very least, possibly world football. But then you'd also say maybe Kante-ish was around there. But if you take two of the best DMs and you put them in defence, yes, they'll do a job in defence. But now you haven't got the best DM. And for me, having the best DM in the DM role is important. If you take Fernandinho out and put, Gundogan there, it's not the same. It's not a DM. If you take Fabinho out and then put Henderson there, well, it's not a DM, so it doesn't work. And it was the downfall of both of us. Those seasons were very similar, ultimately.
But on the actual original point that you made on Liverpool, it's the fact that it's always like a partial kind of thing. Because that summer, you said something like Jota, Thiago, a decent centre back, and probably another.
Or just have kept Lovren. No. Just keep Lovren.
Maybe another.
As bad as you think he is,
that would have been an incredible window for us.
Hold on. Actually, that season.
At what point did we go and get Ben Davies and never played him?
No, that's what I was going to say. Right. That was the issue. Right. So the season that Van Dijk got injured, you were still top in January, right? It was us, United and you. You were top in January.
That's what I was saying to you.
Yeah, and your board went out and bought two.
Ozan Kabak and Ben Davies.
Yeah, Ozan Kabak. You know what Ozan Kabak is now? Do you know what Ozan Kabak is now?
Norwich.
Hoffenheim.
Is that Hoffenheim? Do you know where Hoffenheim are?
16.
Even know where Hoffenheim is. Do they make tyres?
No. As in the league.
They're
I
like
have no
50,
idea.
they're like 15 or 14.
Bottom half
50.
of the Bundesliga, and he was playing at Norwich on loan. But
Yeah.
he's the guy we bought in.
But
and
Mont,
was
at
expected
least
to
he
bring that
played.
hype, along with Davis.
The other guy never touched the ball. Davis
That
never
was a
touched the ball.
hologram.
See, that's the same thing we repeated with Atamelo.
There was.
We never change.
I
never learned
remember
anything.
Adapt. I remember that January window because we were getting linked to a bunch of players. So and the players that we were linked to were actually decent players. There were Alexa was one of them. Botman was another one, and another one was Issa Diop from France. From West Ham.
I think that's where you lot first started probably seeing. Hold on a minute, because I think I spoke on this earlier on Never a Foul that I do understand with Liverpool because
Roman Saiz as well.
When you've won trophies with whether it be a board or manager, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and you want to. But I think that was probably the first point. And what I was saying is that this season, I think FSG have got they've got away with quite a lot, to be frank with you, for the size of Liverpool and how big a club Liverpool. Yeah, they have. But I think this season, because for me, I will say it again, and I'll keep saying this every season. Liverpool have a spine that have won the Premier League and the Champions League, right? If Liverpool fill the gaps correctly, Liverpool can challenge, right? It's very simple. No, Arsenal have to prove it because they haven't got the spine. Liverpool have the spine. I'm not going to say you're going to. It might be 4 players, but if you get them, you could, right? Because the reason I'll say this is last season when we were however many points behind Arsenal, I was saying we know how to do it, and Liverpool do. But the other thing that's being said about Klopp is once Klopp goes on the decline, it might be time. Now, this season, how Liverpool perform, it could end like we know with Liverpool when you get the Scousers, when they turn, that's when it becomes a problem. When they're going to be toxic at games like Everton have been. So I think if you don't do enough business this transfer window and you don't start the season off well, I think it will no longer be probably most of you guys battling with Scousers and top Reds saying no. They'll switch.
Liverpool have a simple task. It's really simple. If we don't solve the problem with our midfield, we won't get anywhere.
Yeah. I think it's bigger than that.
No, hold on. Let me get to where I'm going. You see, Manchester City, you guys are always in praise of Haaland. Oh, Haaland gets goals. The most important player in your
That's everyone else. It's not our fan base, That's everyone else. We actually rate Rodri.
The most important player in your team is Rodri.
Diaz.
Yeah. It's Rodri. He is the best fucking defensive midfielder on planet Earth. Add mass.
Yeah, he is. We look different when he don't play. It's that simple.
And to an
He's
extent,
modern day Busquets. He's the modern day Busquets.
Don't say that. People aren't liking that at the moment.
And to an extent,
but hold on. Wait. I hate that. I've seen that, and I know what you're talking about. When I think the modern day Busquets, that is not a stretch.
But bro, no one. I've said this before. When we signed him, he actually and people go, no, he wasn't. But listen, when we signed him, I did research on him, and in Spain, they were saying we're seeing him as the future Busquets, But people go, no, they weren't. Yes, they were, right? Even 2-3 years ago in the Euros, him and Busquets, he actually played 50% of the games. They were just switching the two. He's unbelievable. He is,
that guy is nothing. He's nothing short of a football deity.
He even shoots better than Busquets. He does shoot better than Busquets. So that's one thing.
He reminds me a lot of like Xabi Alonso.
His goal in the Champions League final is very similar to the type of thing you would have seen Gerrard do.
You know the best thing about him? You know the best thing about him? He plays like
Busquets reincarnated.
He plays like he's two players.
People
hate this. Like he's two players.
By the way, I said people are going to hate
this. Oh, no, that's Cancelo. They look similar.
People are going to hate this. And I've said this to a few people. City have Busquets, a reincarnated Busquets, and they have the closest thing to Steven Gerrard in the same midfield. Like it or hate it. KDB.
And then they have Gundogan. They have Gundogan, Mr. Big Game.
And they have Gundogan, who's just Gundogan.
Gundogan's gone now.
Mr.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
Game
but
player.
you know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
and this isn't a oh let's all get gassed over cities, but this is just factually speaking.
Look,
Like,
I can say that honestly, back when there was that calendar year, there was a calendar year for Liverpool. Forget the season, there was a calendar year where a calendar year,
93 and 95 points, 93 out of 95.
that calendar year you were just
117 points.
unbelievable, yeah. At
Yeah,
that
we
point,
got 2 points all year.
but
All year.
as we're being nice about each other's teams as it's pre-season, at that point I was looking at Liverpool's midfield, right? And what I was envious is your midfield, and obviously, you know, we've been so blessed with midfielders, but the engines you had absolute engines like that were just working hard. Wijnaldum, I'll say, I honestly think Wijnaldum might be as important to Liverpool as Mane was for me. Wijnaldum, and when Wijnaldum went and you never replaced him, Wijnaldum
That
was
left
like
side, that left side of
unbelievable.
left side of our team was the side that started the press. They were
Yeah.
even able to start the press at an angle.
Yeah.
We never replaced either of them. We didn't.
And that's it. Wijnaldum and Mane.
One thing I would say about
was, so I was saying Mane, Robertson, and
Wijnaldum.
Those three were so good.
Yeah.
I think it was telepathic, and you can tell because whenever Diaz plays, you can see that individually Diaz is brilliant, but you can see him and Robertson. There's something wrong there where
there's nothing. You mean
there's no
nothing.
communication? It's not telepathic anymore.
Do you know what?
As much as Henderson, let me just finish. And as much as people say what you want to say about Henderson, but for me, Henderson was finished after that hamstring injury he got against Everton. Do you guys remember? That's
injury.
When he was a centre back.
When he played at centre back against Everton, and we lost that game 1-0, I believe. Richarlison 1-0.
2-0.
With a 2-0. Yeah. When Henderson, this is when Henderson could actually run. He could still cross the ball. He could actually shoot quite well. And
I've always been a Henderson fan, by the way, just to put it out there.
I know. In 2021, obviously, and this is in 2021, and when he done his groin, since that injury, he was never the same. But why? I don't blame Henderson. I blame the board for putting us in a position where we had to play Henderson centre back, and it fucked him. Fabinho should not have declined when he declined. Fabinho should have gone the length like Fernandinho did. He should have gone the length like Rodri's going to do. But do you know what we've done? We've made Fabinho, we've ran him into the ground the way we shouldn't have ran him into the ground. And if you look at Rodri, as much as Rodri is so good at football, it's scary. Pep isn't running him into the ground.
Hold on. Now, this is where my issue is with Calvin Phillips, that you're right. But the reason we got Calvin Phillips was very clear. It was so that because this was Rodri, I believe, his third season in the Premier League, right? Is it third or fourth? Third or fourth. And he's played so many damn games. He plays pretty much every game. The maddest thing is, you know, we had the FA Cup, the Champions League, and then he left. He did the parade, and then where they had an after party, he jumped on a plane, went to Spain, played the full semi-final, man of the match, the full final, man of the match, right? But we brought Calvin Phillips in so that after the World Cup, Rodri could be given a bit of a break, because it was like, do you know what, he's going to come back. Calvin Phillips wasn't there.
But don't you think want Manchester United to get him?
No, we bought him because we needed to give Rodri a break. And when he came back overweight, it was like, you can't do that.
But that's the thing is with Rodri, what I've noticed in Pep's tweaking of the system, Rodri's had to do, for me, less and less constant sprints. The longer he's been
that's City full stop. You let the ball do the work.
Because he's put Jones ahead. He's put Stones ahead of him, right?
But that's the tweak in your system. I watch Rodri very closely because Busquets is one of my favorite midfielders. Not my favorite, obviously, but one of my favorite midfielders. I watch him quite closely, and for me, he doesn't have to do. You know, in the first season when he came, when he was getting the most criticism, do you know how many recovering runs he was having to make? That's not his game, by the way. That's not Rodri's game. To make recovering runs and recovering tackles. Now, the ball's obviously doing the work at a peak velocity now for City, and that is why, unlike Liverpool, where the ball does do the work at times, but the midfield does the work.
Intensity,
yeah. And that is why you have to refresh. How can a team who lets the ball do the work refresh more than the team where the midfielders do the work? How?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Do you know, I was just going to say, when you were talking about, because you are spot on, I never even clocked Wijnaldum, Mane, Robertson were all on the same side. And when they're deep it, because I know Robertson maybe dropped off a little bit, and again, it could be burnout. But I actually see Robertson as like one of. You could put him up there with one of the. Probably he's definitely, I don't know, definitely top 10, potentially top 5 Premier League left backs of all time, potentially. I think
ability-wise, you could put him up there.
He's already up.
But you spoke about the relationship they have.
How many times between Mane and Robertson they forced somebody to make an error and hand the ball over for
just by pressing hard,
and somebody was always coughing up the ball. I mean, that press was stifling. It was like a UFC, chokehold.
Anfield under the lights, cop end.
But you lot have noticed that because you watch Liverpool, right? I've noticed something, and if you think about it, City, when one player left Manchester City, everything changed, right? Cancelo. And then Ake officially came in as our left back, right? Now, there is a reason why Pep loves Ake and Jack Grealish. And it's very similar to what you just said, that those two, sometimes players just work. And for some reason, Jack Grealish and Ake works very, very well. As Liverpool fans, maybe you'll notice it now, I've said it next season. They just know, like even David Silva, Raheem Sterling down the left, sometimes players just know when I'm going to go on the inside, you go on the outside. I'm going to go on the outside, you're going to go on the inside. Or you've got a bit higher than me, so I'm going to cover you. And just make sure that they're backing each other all the time. Whereas Cancelo is very bad at that. Cancelo is not good. So I think watch that next season. Watch Ake and Grealish because they're telepathic. What's this show actually about? Is it call-in show or?
Yeah,
or is it a moan about Liverpool?
But
it's a call-in show. We wanted to talk about Gvardiol. To be fair, we haven't talked. If anything, guys, can we use this last 5 to 6 minutes to talk about Gvardiol? By the way, and let me just hit this one more comment, and let me just housekeep quickly, and then we'll get to Gvardiol, and then Uncle Albert, finish what you're saying. We'll get to Gvardiol. And
I was just going to talk about Grealish.
Yeah.
Last year was it the year when his first year?
Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. I'll get to a few comments and then we'll talk about.
I thought you were calling me uncle for a minute. I was going to say.
Oh no, that's Uncle Al's, man. Big up Bailey 19. He says never if I got to 10k. Time for Big Sis fans to get to 10k. Listen, in our own time, we gotta get to 5k first. We got to 5k first, but we obviously it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Also, there's still 222 people in the house. Make sure we smash the like button. We're currently on 147 likes. I believe we can get to 175 likes easily, people. So stop what you're doing and make sure you smash the like button. Also, make sure to subscribe as well to join the family and get us on the way to 4,600 as well, which is the next smaller target for Big Six Bands. Also, Uncle Albert, make sure you finish what you're going to say about Jack Grealish.
Yeah, I was just saying that when Grealish first got to Manchester City, and he wasn't doing that well. I mean, people were taunting him, and I remember thinking, this guy is a good player. Let's understand why Pep got him. He is a fantastic player. His problem was that at Aston Villa, he was the king. I mean, basically, it didn't matter what happened. It didn't matter how drunk he was the night before he was playing. He needed to get disciplined at Manchester City. Once he understood that, he was going to become a problem. And right now, Jack Grealish is even more of a problem for opposing teams than even maybe KDB as we speak.
Do you know what? Listen, with Jack Grealish, firstly, the other thing is you've got to remember the role he played at Villa. He was a free spirit. Do what you want, go out there and vibe. And he didn't have a spotlight on him. The minute you arrive at Manchester City, your role is, and this is why when people were moaning about him, I was saying, listen, you lot all know Pep. You know that if you are not doing your role, Pep will pull you. The reason we sold Leroy Sané, who all of our fan base love, he was electric going forward, is because he didn't do what Pep asked him to do. He didn't do, whereas Jack Grealish has listened to Pep and done exactly what Pep says. That's why Pep is one of the first names on the team sheet, because his role is to draw players in, because we know that people are going to try and put multiple players on Haaland. We know people are going to try and man-mark KDB. So you need someone that is going to draw in. Grealish is like a magnet. People just they just go to him. He can draw 3 players out of a game, right?
And he's also added defensive side of the ball to his play.
Because do you know what? The truth is, we can all laugh and joke and say, yeah, he loves a drink, and 100% he does, 1,000,000%. But during the season, and even more this season, if Haaland has got there, Haaland and Grealish have a good relationship. Now, Haaland is the ultimate professional, eating cows' hearts and sleeping with these glasses on that make everything dark. So when
you
it's
just eating cows' hearts, you dabs.
and Haaland apparently has grabbed hold of Grealish during the season and pretty much said, and Grealish is the type that will look at someone like Haaland and go, yeah, all right then, because you can tell Grealish is easily influenced, 1,000,000%. Yeah. So if Haaland's saying to him, no,
Get it down, yeah.
That video. I love that video.
The man, bro, this is best. You can sit and watch Grealish all night. The best one is have you seen the one where he's on the coach?
This one. Yeah, it's that one. You can't not like Jack Grealish. I'm sorry. You can't not like Jack Grealish, man.
But no, you're right. And then as for Gvardiol, yeah, man, I just, you know, when you just look at a partnership and you just look at, because when you look at players, there's players that you look at and you think, and I'm not mocking the aura thing now, yeah, but aura is a thing, yeah. Aura is a thing.
Oh, yeah, it's a thing.
Old Trafford
100%.
used to have this aura that when teams got off the coach, they were 2-0 down already. Don't have it no more, but they used to have that, yeah. When I look at
the toilets don't work, so
no, they've gone now. The minute Everton did a sue there, it'd gone. But with Gvardiol, he just looks like a winner. He looks like someone that is, and that's what we need right now. We do need to bring some, like, the reason why we probably won the Champions League is because we had Haaland, we had Diaz, young players that want to win stuff, right? Now they've won it. So we need some young players that haven't won it yet, but really want to win stuff. And to me, I look at Gvardiol, he's good with his feet, he's strong. And him and Diaz at the back, I just think could be scary. Like, imagine being forwards and knowing you're facing Diaz, Gvardiol, and the way we're playing now, you're probably going to have Ake next to him and Stones on the other side. So you're going to have 4 centre-backs. It's going to be like, this is going to be a long day for me. So I'm happy with it. We've got Kovacic there, who's Croatian as well. So now those two have got their little bond and whatever. But now we do have to go and get a midfielder. We have to go and get a midfielder done. I don't know who, I don't care who, but.
So do you think Bernardo Silva is going to stay?
Someone just needs to offer some money for him, bro. I mean, it's the same. It's been the same for about 2 years now. City going, if someone offers us money, we're not holding him hostage, but he's on contract. Someone offers us money. Barcelona want the whole world, but they're not offering money for anyone. Like Laporte, they want Laporte. They've wanted Laporte for 2-3 seasons, but they're not offering us money. So with Bernardo, I think Bernardo is not bad at staying at City, but I think Bernardo's missus wants out of Manchester. So I think the longer people don't offer, I think Bernardo's just like, oh, I'll stay. No problem.
You know, the one player I'm worried about.
Do you think Gvardiol, do you think, because he's 21, do you reckon he gets slowly weaned into the team? Like, how do you think he gets ingrained into the team? Because if you look at, I'm just saying, look at how good Ake is. Look at how good Ake has been. And I think
Akanji is a monster, man.
No, but let's be real. Listen, Akanji has. I've grown to love Akanji, right? But let's be real. If we just look at the Champions League final as an example, Ake had just come back from injury. I think Ake was phenomenal in that game. I think Diaz was phenomenal in that game. Stones was blowing out of his arse by about the 50th minute, but was still looking phenomenal. Akanji looks like a £15 million player that is working his ass off and listening to the manager and learning. And he's got amazing players like Diaz that are telling him what to do. But Akanji looked nervous, right? And I think Akanji, I've always said this, Akanji is an amazing 5th choice centre back, because that's what he is. Let's be clear. He's our 5th choice centre back.
He'd be your Lovren to us.
And there's nothing wrong with being that. Like your second or third choice striker scored your Champions League winner, right? And will always go down in your folklore. So there's no problem.
Scored 2 in the semi.
And there's no problem with knowing your role and living it. But I just think that Pep's looked at it and thought. But here's the thing: when it's pre-season, we can sit here and go, yeah, we're gonna wean him in. But the truth of the matter is, 2 games in, someone could get an injury. And then all of a sudden, they just have to play. Like people go best 11 and all of that. The season doesn't work like that. To win leagues, especially when you're trying to be in every competition. If you go and look at City or probably Liverpool's, maybe not so much Liverpool because of Klopp's doesn't rotate as much. If you go and look at City's last 4 or 5 seasons, there'll be players in some seasons you think he hasn't really featured much, and then you'll look and they've played 40 games, right? Because Pep rotates, and so you can come in and be a fifth choice centre back and still get 40 games. So I think we know we've got him for the long term. It's just part of the plan. But like I said, we do have to get a midfielder.
But that's the thing.
Where does he walk in? Does he walk in as your 3rd best centre back, 4th best centre back? That's the question.
Laporte's going in it. So we all know Laporte's going. He turned down the chance to talk with Tottenham, but he's definitely going somewhere. I think he wants Spain badly, but again, I think players are being sold this dream by Barcelona that we want you, but then Barcelona don't ever come in and offer. And so Laporte's here going, I want to go Barca. And it's like, but Barca aren't offering us no money.
They don't have no money, bro. They ain't got no money.
Yeah, and they're just, So anyway, but I do think Laporte will go. So Gvardiol comes in. And actually, I'd probably put Laporte ability-wise, 2nd best centre-back. Or possibly even first on ability.
Yeah, but he had a run last season that no one really speaks about. Not this season.
Before he played through an injury.
Not last season. The season before, like he had a run that no one really spoke about, and he actually rose up above Diaz as your best centre back. Not last season, gone by the way. You know what I'm saying? When we were going for the quad that season.
Yeah, he played through that at the end of the season. He had to send a letter to Spain and say, I'm sorry, I can't link up with the team. I've been playing for the last 6 weeks with an injury, because Diaz had got injured, everyone else had got injured, so he was just kept going. So we will always respect him. It's just for some reason, something's gone wrong there. I think it's when he joined us, he was seen as the Vincent Kompany replacement, potential captain. Remember when he landed, and in his first 6 months, he was like Van Dijk and Laporte are levels above every other centre back in the league.
Yeah, they were. Absolutely,
but then he got injured, and he came back. And for some reason, sometimes it's about partnerships. And
the band was still playing without him. That was the problem.
And do you know what? The thing is, Diaz and Laporte struck up this relationship, and it was Diaz is young. Diaz and Stones struck up a relationship because Diaz is one of our younger defenders, right? But he's a leader. Stones knows he's good on the ball, but defensively, he used to have a lot of mistakes in him. So when Diaz landed, they struck up this relationship where Diaz, I'd see him pushing John Stones into positions, and John Stones would be fine to do that. Whereas with Laporte, he's senior to Diaz, and for some reason, those two I don't feel has ever worked, because I think Laporte thinks I'm the boss, and Diaz is like, but you're not, I'm the boss. And it's never really worked. So, and I think Pep knows that Diaz is potentially our future captain. So Laporte's just been kind of put to one side, and it just hasn't worked. But he's been good for us. He's won 5 Premier Leagues, and he'll go somewhere. So I think Gvardiol comes in as, look, if we're paying 80 million for him or something, bro, he's got to come in as our 2nd best, and he's got to be starting for me. He's got to, right?
Who? Gvardiol?
Yeah, he's got to.
And you know what? People have a lot of things to say about the Bundesliga. Probably the best place to get centre backs is the Bundesliga, with the way the top 6 plays, with the fact that they all have a high line.
Yeah.
And that's literally Bundesliga football in a nutshell. So maybe
I have a little bit. My view of Gvardiol has dimmed a little bit after 2 of his performances. The Messi performance in the World Cup, I thought a centre back doesn't allow himself to be turned in that way.
By Lionel Messi?
Hold
on. Just a reminder, he's 21 years old.
No, I get that. I put a caveat on it. But I think even worse was his performance. I mean, if Messi turns you, that's no news. Okay, I get that, right? But a good centre back fouls him even before he gets there. But
Uncle
that's experience. Right? That's experience.
He said my dream club is Liverpool. That's why remember he said my dream club is Liverpool. Remember that?
But
Kevin De Bruyne
just like Jude. Just like Jude.
It's like KDB.
I think even the worst performance was the one against Haaland. That was poor.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
listen,
I
what
think
I'm
no,
saying
hold on.
is-
Dread.
We
Listen,
battered them
Haaland
7-0. I
folds in
don't
like
think
a
he was that
deck
bad, you
chair,
know. I think he actually came out of that game, and it's like I remember you lot beat Newcastle, and this was years ago. You battered Newcastle like 7 or 8-0, and Shay Given got man of the match for Newcastle, yeah, because somehow he was still good. Now, I'm not saying
Suarez ban. It was after the Suarez bite. Yeah, I remember it.
and I'm not saying that Gvardiol was amazing against City, but none of those goals were hit on him. That like, and I always said after that game that it's a bit of an awkward one now. If you know City are really scouting him and they're going, sorry, we're going to go and pay 80 million for a guy that just held 7. Like it is an awkward conversation, but it wasn't on him.
I don't necessarily, like I was saying, you made a very important point that experience will make him better. I don't disagree with that. I was just saying, I was even going to go at the price that I think that the 100 million that they're asking for him is excessive.
Nah, it's less than that.
No, but Albert, I'll ask you this: regardless if it is 100 million pounds, the guy's 21, and think about the peak that you're going to get from a centre back.
You get 10 years from him. I agree.
Get 10 years, and think every year it will be 10 million pounds per year. That's
Yeah,
how I see
obviously,
it.
again, the probability of a player staying at a club for 10 years in today's modern football is almost to nothing, by the way. But
We have a few, to be fair, bro.
Yeah, a few, but in modern day of football, players staying at a club for 10 years.
But
I'm
if
just
they
saying,
sign,
Kevin De Bruyne is getting up to 10 years, I think.
I'm not hearing the Messi chat because Messi has folded enough defenders like a deck chair. Enough defenders. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I don't want to hear the Messi and the Haaland because my personal centre back that I want, he didn't have a great game against Haaland, but Haaland does that to so many defenders.
Bro, Isak had a terrible season for Sociedad before he joined Newcastle. Now he's looking like an Henri regen. It's okay. It is okay. These young players, and Isak's not the oldest player in the world. It's all right, man.
It's all about whether the player fits what the manager wants.
Yeah.
And Vardiol's good with his feet.
I'm not
incredibly dominant and
I'm
he's also incredibly fast.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that.
Sorry, it's for Arteta once.
Sorry, I need to jump off because I've
Lads,
someone
I'm
at the
gonna
door.
listen. I know I have to shut this off. I have to go. I really.
So I've got a dip as well. I've got someone here. So bless. Love. Once I'll message you. Love everyone. Nice.
Message me. Albert, finish what you're saying, and then I have to get this off.
I was just saying that I don't disagree with any of that. It was just an observation. So, don't eat me up. I didn't say I would look. I really would have wished that Liverpool got him, but we are not a serious club. So, you know, sometimes it's just pain that you speak with. I really would have wished, because the guy has come out and said he's a Liverpool supporter. He has actually waited a year for us. We didn't look. You know, we did that with Okun Koshkun, right? And now it's come out. Yeah, we told the guy that don't sign for Benfica. We're going to come and get you, and then we never showed up.
Yeah,
they gave us a date.
You know, Liverpool's like a guy that's going on a date that's never punctual, but he's dating and he's still. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's just that it's not even that. It's just the fact that we give it. We act like Billy Big Bollocks, but then we don't actually do anything. Is that kind of?
I don't even think we. I think to say we even act like
Let me give you
no,
one.
But that's the vibe that we give. That we are Billy Big Bollocks, but we don't do anything about it.
Yeah. Mont, let me give you one better. We are like the guy that shows off and snags the girl, goes to the dinner date, and then when you get there, you go Dutch.
Yeah.
He's gone
but he's wearing a Rolex though.
Exactly.
He's wearing a Rolex. He's wearing a
Rolex, driving a BM he doesn't own, and then when you get there, you go Dutch.
Yeah. Literally. But listen, people, we're gonna end it there. I am dying. I need to go to sleep. We should be live tomorrow at 2:00 or 1:00, depending on what time I open my eyes. But yeah, man, as I said, I watched Transformers today. I also saw The Flash, and I'm quite frankly, I'm dying. So
man,
you know,
I'm waiting. Before you go, have you guys gotten the Indiana Jones movie yet?
It's not out yet, is it? I don't think it's out yet.
Not out yet.
It's out on June 30th. I'm the first person there.
I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I'm waiting for Oppenheimer, man. I'm waiting for that stuff. I want to see it at Leicester Square IMAX, bro. That looks. It's gonna be mad. I can't wait.
But guys, as I said, we are gonna round it there. Big up J7. Jason, where can the people find you, bro?
You can find me on J7 TV. The link I'll send the link in the chat now.
And so big up yourself and thank you for jumping on. But Ram, where can people find you?
You can find me on my Twitter. I'll be jumping onto a bunch of spaces, trying to corner as many people as possible if they've actually seen the players that they want. And you can also find me on Big Sis Bants, Igal Talks Football, and everywhere else, wherever.
And big up. And of course, if that's you find them on Never a Foul, who has just hit 10K. This stream is going to be forwarded over to Sarcasm City TV, and they have just hit 7K. You know, I can't believe it. All the people around me are thriving, and that is what I love to see the most. It makes my day a better day.
Manifest it to Big Six Bands. Just say it.
In my opinion, Big Six Bands is always thriving. Do you know what I'm saying? It's always thriving. Look, we had 250 people in the stream at nearly 1 a.m. in the morning. I love this channel. This is, you know what I'm saying? And I love everyone, all the people, the beautiful people in the comments supporting it as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So make sure if you are new here, drop a subscribe and all that stuff as well. Make sure you go and support Rams, you go and support Daps, you go and support J7, obviously Uncle Albert. Make sure you go follow him on Twitter as well. Uncle Albert, obviously I'll be back to doing the calling shows, Uncle, so you'll be here more. Because as you know, Uncle, I've been doing less calling shows, but you know,
I'm always available anytime. I'm in my nursing home in Florida, so
big up yourself, man.
Enjoying my retirement.
Big up people, big up the members, big up Lil Tim's, big up Don as well for sending in their super chats as well. And also big up the members, man, that are part of the membership as well, who have that free pass to get those perks. Big up KLFC, Honestly, Ed, Aiden Andrews, Solo, Dennis, Beige and Red, Snake Eyes, D1, Roms, ND, T, Joe Madonka as well. Guys, we'll see you soon. See you at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Take care. And we're also live at 7:30 as usual for our roundup where the originals will be on as we do our 7:30 chaotic transfer roundup show. Guys, take care. We'll see you soon. We're going to end with a video of how people are looking at Liverpool at the moment. Hopefully we can change that. Take care, people.